Hello, my name is Joe McGuire, and this is my presentation on my website of authenticated access to information. Authenticated access to information is basically there's a secure way to access all your data, mainframes, computer networks, and even cell phones. Authenticated access to information is a growing concern in the modern world of technology. This is because people love to use the internet and put their personal information out there. However, the internet is a dangerous place filled with hackers that are eagerly waiting to steal your information, such as debit cards, PINs, and secure passwords. That's why it's so important to secure your information with secure access to information. I will outline this process over my website with my purpose page, the effects and impacts page, the technical aspects page, the relationship to data, and I'll wrap it up with my references page. The first question I will be addressing is on my purpose page. Question A. Indicate the name of the innovation and provide a clear description of its intended purpose. The name of my innovation to computer science is Authenticated Access to Information. Authenticated access to information is providing secure access to mainframes, servers, computers, apps, and even cell phones. The other part of this description is that authenticated access to information keeps unwanted users out of your personal property. This has allowed the internet to expand in a massive way because the internet connects the entire world and people now trust it to put their personal information such as bank accounts and email without worry of being hacked. The pictures on this page include the World Wide Web being displayed connecting a phone, a tablet, and a computer to show how authenticated access information has brought the world together, and a bouncer to show that it is protecting your information. The next page of my project is the impacts page, where I will address the next three questions. Question B, benefit or harm of the innovation. The main benefit of authenticated access to information is it allows people to safely browse the internet, exchanging information and money without worrying about hackers or cyber terrorists coming in and stealing all of their hard-earned cash and information. This process is called authenticated access to information because the access is only authentic if the person looking at it is the actual owner. The main benefit of this is it gives everybody equal opportunity to roam the internet without constantly worrying about their PIN numbers, passwords being hijacked or stolen. This is a video describing how the banking giant JP Morgan was recently attacked by cyber terrorists, losing millions. The next question, the impact that innovation has had on society. Authenticated access to information has had a tremendous impact on society because it pertains to the internet and privacy, which are two massive topics in modern day America. Basically, authenticated access to information has made people feel safe on the internet, which has generated more users, more traffic, more exchanging of ideas and money, which has allowed the internet to reach its true full potential. This is my video on authenticated access to information.
Well, I definitely feel like authenticated access to information has had a positive effect on society because it allows for further security for people's assets and other personal information.
What area specifically?
I would say that an area that's impacted is the banking industry, especially with the addition of the internet, because people can put their funds online and they need that to be protected, so they need passwords and other security measures in place to protect their money so other people can't steal it.
This is a small graph based off the information I sent out in my survey. The question was, does authenticated access to information affect the world? 20% said yes, 30% said no, and 50% said maybe. The results of this graph, I would say, are inconclusive because I believe a lot of them did not understand what authenticated access to information was because I truly believe that it impacts the world greatly every day. The third question I'll address is D. How authenticated access to information has impacted the banking industry. As described in the video above, authenticated access to information has made people more secure on the internet, which has allowed the banking industry to expand on the internet as well. People feel safe having their information up, and they do not feel like anyone will steal it because there are security measures in place that keep their information safe. This security has allowed the banking industry to embrace the internet and reach its true potential on the internet. The next two questions lie on my tech page. Question E. Describe how the user interacts with the tech. Authenticated access to information is a broad topic that is extremely present in day-to-day interactions without us even realizing it. For example, every time you unlock your phone, you are accessing authenticated information. This is because you are putting a password in and no one else can get in besides you. Another example is when you take your debit card to the ATM to withdraw money. The next video demonstrates that.
What you hear?
Most people do not even realize that is a way they interact with authenticated access to information. The next question, F, describe in detail how the innovations technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithms, programming, and/or the internet to accomplish its purpose. Authenticated access to information especially incorporates the internet. As I've said earlier, the internet is a broad place where you can do many things, including pay bank statements or access email. Because of all this, it is very important that you privatize your account so no one else can check it. Authenticated access to information is so important to the internet and incorporates it so largely because everything on the internet needs to be secured at all times if you do not wish to have your identity stolen and even your life ruined. The next page I'll be addressing is my data page, where I'll answer the next two questions. Question G. Describe how the innovation consumes data as input, produces data as output, and transforms data. Authenticated access to information consumes data when you go to access the information, like email, bank accounts, and any website or action that requires you to enter a password. The act of accessing the things you want is actually what uses the data in the first place. The innovation produces the data after you access it and are allowed to actually see what is being protected by the passwords in the first place. The data is transformed through inputting the passwords that then allow you to access things like your phone or bank account. When you enter the passwords, that data is transformed into a key of sorts, as a manner of speaking, which unlocks all the protected information within. H. Describe at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, or data security concern related to the innovation. There will always be a data storage concern as the world continues to grow in population and more people require accounts and services to protect sensitive information. The privacy concern is the main idea that authenticated access to information tries to address. Privacy is a growing concern in the world today as advanced technology makes it relatively easy for people to steal and manipulate private and sensitive information. By increasing password strength and fortifying techniques to protect information, my innovation is constantly working to solve the data privacy concern. The data security concern is much like the privacy concern in my eyes, and authenticating access to information will address both of these problems. This is a small video on why data should concern you.
Why should you care if you're a brand marketer about data privacy? Probably one of the biggest things is if you take the aspect of Scott Brinker from chiefmartech.com, one of the things that he says is that there's perceived tension between conversion rate optimization and brand impact. Not so much the conversion rate, because obviously to a degree you can control brand impact, I think, is there's a relationship between that and the permission marketing aspect. So, in a way, if you haven't got the permission of your customer base or consumer base, then obviously you're not going to get the brand impact.
Final page of my website is my references page. As you can see, I have 5 references that I use for information to help me create this website. The first is by author Dan Smith, and it's a password manager. It's a website just talking about password management. The second is Damian Paletta, and he wrote an article about Obama. He basically summarized an exchange between Obama and the Chinese presidents on the growing concern of cyber attacks. The next was Javelin Strategy and Research, which I viewed Identity Fraud Graph. The fourth is HPE Security, in which they posted a video talking about protecting the world's most sensitive information. And the final, and most important, is by the University of Miami, and it's an article on authentication and access control, which I will show you now. Basically, this website I use to really learn about my topic and understand the basic meanings of access to information, and without it, I would definitely not have been able to create my website. So to really create this website, we used the cPanel website to encode everything in an HTML and CSS format, and you can basically see through all the styling pages we made it. This is the index page, which is the first page you viewed. This is the purpose page, which had, as you can see here, has the HTML code as they all do at the top. This is the impacts page, the tech page, the data page, and the references page. And this is basically behind the scenes of how I created the website. Okay, so as you can see here, I included a GIF in my website, which I created on GIFmaker by putting 3 images together, and these images include this binary code, my logo, which I created on Pixlr, and an edited image of myself. Also, using Pixlr, I created my banner, which also has the logo. And to do this, I use layering tools by putting down the background picture, which you can see is binary code, and including a top part that just says authenticated access to information, which is obviously my topic, my logo, which I drew on using the pen tool, and down here is the last layer with my name, just stating that's by me, Joe McGuire.